All right, from radicalization in jails to what's happening in the state of Odisha. Now, in the latest update on the tragic self-immolation case in Odisha, the state government has formed a 3-member committee to investigate the incident. The student who set herself on fire on the college premises had alleged sexual harassment by her teacher. She remains in critical condition with 95% burns. The committee, in fact, will probe both allegations of harassment and the delay in action by authorities that may have led to the extreme step. We are getting in reaction from the Chief Minister of Odisha. Let's listen in.
भुवनेश्वर एम्स में उनका ट्रीटमेंट हो रहा है। परिस्थिति बहुत क्रिटिकल है और एक मेडिकल टीम बनाते हुए सारी ट्रीटमेंट कर रहे हैं। दिल्ली का एम्स में जो ट्रीटमेंट हो रहा है, इसी आधार पर ही वहाँ भी ट्रीटमेंट हो रहा है। आज भी मैंने बोले कि दिल्ली का जो एम्स का जो डॉक्टर सीनियर है, उनके साथ एक वर्चुअल मोड में मीटिंग करते हुए और क्या ज़्यादा ट्रीटमेंट किया जा सकता है, उसी आधार पर करने के लिए मैंने वहाँ का टीम का साथ बातचीत कर लिया। और अभी तक क्रिटिकल स्थिति है। अगले 24 घंटे के लिए वो बहुत क्रिटिकल मोमेंट है। जब कोई इम्प्रूव थोड़ा सा भी करेगा तो हम उसको एयरलिफ्ट भी करा सकते हैं दिल्ली एम्स के लिए।
निश्चित रूप से वो एक बहुत दुखद घटना है ये। ऐसा तो होना बिल्कुल भी नहीं चाहिए था। तो जो भी सिचुएशन है, तो पहले तो मैं कहूँगी कि एक नारी के हिसाब से कुछ उनको कुछ ऐसा आघात हुआ होगा, इसलिए उन्होंने ऐसा डिसीजन लिया, पर ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए था। तो कुछ भी हो सिचुएशन पर हमें स्ट्रांग होना है और डटकर लड़ना चाहिए।
I just want to question to the state government that it is high time you get up from your sleep. You have been completely deflecting the criticism, deflecting the allegations that is being levied on the state government time and again. This girl, this innocent girl has been raising the complaint time and again. On 1st July, she has given a written complaint to the committee as well. Fakir Mohan University is one of the most renowned university, having more than 500 students studying in the college. In this college, a student is lodging a complaint to the internal committee. She has also informed the same to the SP Balisor as well. She has also intimated to the MP Balisor. Despite having exhausted all her remedial measures, despite having exhausted all the measures and approaching everybody, she has also tagged the Honorable Chief Minister, lot of handles on the Twitter, expecting a reply because these handles have always been active. Despite trying and giving her best effort, her family members were also invited to be for a discussion in the committee, but there was not a ray of hope, and the state government has failed her. The authorities have failed to give her the protection.
I'm moving on to the other stories that we're tracking, and this one from the state of Karnataka, where there has been a major embarrassment for the Congress party in Karnataka. Lingaraj Kanni, a close aide of Minister Priyank Kharge and MLA Alma Prabhu Patil, has been arrested by the Maharashtra police in a drug trafficking case. Kanni, who is the Kalaburagi South Block Congress president, was nabbed in Thane city while allegedly selling narcotics. Police seized 120 bottles of a banned substance from his possession. A case has also been registered under the NDPS Act at the Kalyan police station in Mumbai, and the further investigation in the case is underway. We'll try and get some Congress and BJP reactions on that, but this is the man. He is a very close aide of Minister of Karnataka, Priyank Kharge, where Priyank Kharge's close aide, the man that you see on your screens, has been found allegedly smuggling drugs. He had been arrested by the Mumbai police and has an FIR, a complaint in fact has been launched at the Kalyan police station in Mumbai. Further investigation in the case is underway. Not just Priyank Kharge, this man was also in touch with Mallikarjun Kharge, He was in touch. He used to work in the same party. And because the close aide of Karnataka minister has been arrested, it's also the duty of the Congress party to come out clean, give out a statement on who is this man who has been caught with the drugs, what are his links, was there any funding that was there with him, and for how long has he been doing this, because somewhere or the other he is associated to the Congress party. Alright, we're trying to get in more details of how this close aide of the Karnataka minister came in touch with the Mumbai police as far as the drug trafficking case is concerned. BJP is reacting very sharply to that incident. Let's listen in.
सर, जो बिहार में SIR एक्टिविटी चल रही है उसमें जो इलेक्शन कमीशन के BLO है, जो ऑफिशियल्स है.
All right, we seem to have some problem in getting the BJP reaction played up, but that's the latest breaking news that's coming in as far as the drug trafficking case is concerned. The Mumbai police, remember, has arrested the very close aide of Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge. All right, BJP spokesperson, BJP Karnataka spokesperson S. Prakash is joining us on the phone line on that note. S. Prakash, thank you very much for speaking to Republic. What do you have to say on this? A very close aide of the Karnataka minister has been caught by the Mumbai police in case of drug trafficking.
It's very shocking. A close aide of a cabinet minister is a drug peddler. And I'm shocked what other anti-national, anti-social activities he might be committing using his connection. The Congress party in Karnataka, several of its activists are involved in many of such dubious associates. Even in Ranya Rao case, top-ranking Congress leaders' names were figured. Now the Priyanka Kharge, who is the son of AICC President Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, his aide is now arrested in drug trafficking. He needs to explain to the people of Karnataka why he holds such criminals as his close aides. He should explain and clarify his stand. An inquiry into the entire episode must be transparent, and it should cover his association with the drug peddler also.
Absolutely, S. Prakash. Thank you very much for sharing your insights on that. In fact, we also have Shehzad Poonawala, BJP spokesperson, reaction on the case. Let's listen in.
मीडिया रिपोर्ट के अनुसार जो बिहार में SIR एक्टिविटी चल रही.
All right, we'll try and sort the issue out as far as Shehzad Poonawala's bite is concerned. But for now, it's time for us to have a check of the other stories that we're tracking on this edition.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
The 12th batch of devotees have departed from Nuwan base camp in Pahalgam for their pilgrimage to the holy cave of Sri Amarnath Ji. Security has been heightened in the area and the BSF medical team is providing round-the-clock medical assistance to the pilgrims. Security has been tightened in Nuh of Haryana ahead of the Braj Mandal Jal Abhishek Yatra. The police were seen inspecting the hilly areas as a part of the security measures. Kerala's Palakkad district has reported a second Nipah case. Now, the first case was reported when a 58-year-old man from Karmapurat near Mannakad tested positive for the virus. We now know that he later passed away at a private hospital in the state. Following the development, an alert has been issued to the hospitals in Palakkad, Malappuram, Kozhikode, Kannur, Wayanad and Thrissur districts of Kerala. Ladies and gentlemen, Utsav Shekhar, the driver of a luxury car who was held for running over 5 people sleeping on the footpath in Delhi's Vasant Vihar area. He was granted bail just 48 hours after he was arrested. The shocking hit and run incident took place in the early hours of July 9. In fact, we have Soumya, who is reporting live from outside the residence of the driver of the Audi. Remember, the shocking case here is that even after he was arrested following the incident, he has already been granted bail. Granted bail just 48 hours after he crushed 5 innocent people under his luxury vehicle. The CCTV video of the accident that had gone viral showed how there were migrant labourers who were crushed under the wheels of an intoxicated driver who was driving harsh, and this area is the Vasant Vihar area of the national capital. Soumya is joining me live from outside the residence of the Audi driver. Soumya, where about Utsav at this point in time? We believe that he has been granted bail just 48 hours after he was arrested.
Yes, well, Tanisha, it happened just yesterday, 48 hours, as you correctly mentioned, that he was granted bail. The police confirmed that the accused, Utsav Shekhar, who happens to be a property dealer, was granted bail in that particular case that happened on 9th of July when he was under alcohol consumption. He ran over not 5 but 6 migrant workers who were lying right outside a petrol pump who was opposite the Shiva camp in South Delhi's Vasant Vihar. At the moment, we are outside Utsav Shekhar's house here in Dwarka. As you can see, the house is locked. People, the neighbors here, have no whereabouts as to not just Utsav, where the whole family has disappeared. People around here in this area, they have no information as to where the family has absconded right after Utsav Shekhar was granted bail. However, a team tried to get a word yesterday from the family members and Utsav as well. However, the mother was present yesterday and did not spoke to us yesterday, and now today when we are here, the house is locked. You can see here, as you can see here, the house is locked. The family is absconding altogether. The neighbors at the moment, as per their information, they have no idea of the whereabouts of the family. So these are the developments at the moment.
Right, absolutely, Soumya. Thank you very much for sharing those updates. We will keep coming back to you as and when there are updates on the story, when we know where actually has the Audi driver left to. For now, it's time for us to move on to the other stories. Now, tension simmers in Haryana's Nuh district as authorities have stepped up security ahead of the Braj Mandal Jal Abhishek Yatra. With fears of a repeat of last year's communal violence, the government has ordered schools shut and suspended internet services till July 17th. Now, we learn that the paramilitary forces have also been deployed and Section 144 is in place, banning large gatherings. Organizers insist the yatra will go ahead, while the administration says no permission has been granted.
पे आए हैं जल चढ़ाने के लिए। आज सावन का सोमवार है।
हम सबको इतनी खुशी हो रही, लड़ाई हुई थी उसके बाद ना आने में इतना अच्छा लग रहा है। सब सुरक्षित हैं हम, आप पुलिस वाले हैं, आप हो मीडिया, सबको देख के हम सुरक्षित महसूस कर रहे हैं। हम बिल्कुल ठीक है, बहुत आनंद आ रहा है यहाँ पे आके।
किस तरीके से भगवान शिव को प्रसन्न करते हैं सावन के दौरान? कैसे जल चढ़ाएंगे, क्या क्या करते हैं?
आरती जल चढ़ाते हैं, आरती करते हैं, मन लगता है खूब, बहुत भाव है। भोले बाबा के मंदिर में आते हैं, इस बार
भोले सबकी मनोकामना पूर्ण करते हैं। बहुत पुराने हैं हमारे यहाँ पे भोले बाबा, इन सबको देख के हम बहुत खुश होते हैं। हर बार यहाँ पे आते रहते हैं।
अब डर तो लगा आने में?
नहीं, बिल्कुल, हम पहले भी डरते थे।
पहले भी नहीं डरे थे हम, तो पहले भी आए थे ऐसे ही।
आज सावन का सोमवार है और सभी शिव भक्त जो है मंदिरों में जाके भगवान शिवलिंग पे जल अभिषेक कर रहे हैं और मंदिरों में भगवान शिव के जयकारे गूंज रहे हैं। इस वक्त हम मौजूद हैं नूह के नल्हड़ महादेव मंदिर के बाहर। पहले तो मैं आपको तस्वीरों के माध्यम से दिखाना चाहूँगा कि मंदिर के बाहर की जो सुरक्षा व्यवस्था है वो यहाँ पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा पुख्ता की गई है। आपको पुलिस के जो जवान हैं यहाँ पर तैनात नज़र आ रहे हैं। वजह यही है कि आज से 2 साल पहले सावन के दौरान ही कुछ असामाजिक तत्व ने माहौल को ख़राब करने की कोशिश की थी, जिसमें आगजनी हुई थी और कई नुकसान जो था वो देखने को मिला था। लेकिन ऐसी तस्वीर दोबारा से सामने ना आए, तो इन्हीं तमाम बातों का ध्यान में रखते हुए पूरे नूह के अंदर कुछ ऐसे पॉइंट्स बनाए गए हैं जहां पे हरियाणा पुलिस को तैनात किया गया है और जो गाड़ियां अंदर आ रही हैं उन गाड़ियों की एंट्री के बाद ही उनको अंदर दाखिल किया जा रहा है। ये मेरा बाहर एग्जिट पॉइंट आप देख सकते हैं। यहाँ से सभी लोग जो पैदल आ रहे हैं, वजह यही है कि यहाँ तक किसी को भी अपने वाहन लाने की जो है अनुमति वो नहीं है, इसलिए लोग जो हैं पैदल अपनी यात्रा करके यहाँ महादेव के मंदिर पहुँच रहे हैं।
That was my colleague Sahil, who was reporting from Nuh in Haryana, where there has been ample security, keeping in mind the Jal Abhishek Braj Mandal Yatra that will take place. As far as the Sawan Somwar is concerned, security has been beefed up, and this is a grim reminder of the last year violence that happened in Haryana, in Nuh, at a time where Jal Abhishek Yatra was being carried out by Hindu groups. Moving across to some other breaking news that's coming in a shocking incident. RJD leader and Bihar's leader of opposition Tejasvi Yadav abused journalists during a press briefing in Patna, running down the fourth pillar of democracy. Tejasvi hurled the slur Mutra to describe journalists. Take a look at this report on how this controversy has now snowballed into every political forum.
Bihar leader of the opposition Tejasvi Yadav talked himself into a controversy after he directed a filthy bar by journalists during a press briefing in Patna. Running down the fourth pillar of democracy, Tejasvi hurled the slur Mutra to describe journalists.
एक मिनट इसका चुनाव आयोग से कोई डॉक्यूमेंट या कोई प्रेस नोट या कोई ऐसी बात आई है या कि कहाँ से खबर आई? सोर्सेज बता रहे हैं, सूत्र बताते हैं, हम उस सूत्र को मूत्र समझते हैं। वेस्ट जो होता है ना, ये वो है, इसका कोई आधार नहीं ना। ये वही सूत्र है जो पाकिस्तान में कब्जा करवा दिया था, इस्लामाबाद, कराची। सूत्र नहीं, मूत्र लोग हैं।
The former Bihar Deputy Chief Minister stoked a massive row, saying sutra or source is mutra, as he sought to question the moral spine and integrity of journalists.
Make no mistake, this is clearly an attack on press and its dignity. Remember, we constitute the fourth estate and the fourth pillar of democracy, and for this kind of contempt and this kind of mindset, Tejasvi Yadav has revealed really from where he comes, and the manner in which he was speaking, the body language, the expressions, that clearly showed that he has utter contempt for media. He has absolute disrespect for the institution of press. Remember, sources are supposed to remain anonymous, and that's why, and that's how journalism flourishes. That's how we practice our craft, because otherwise everything else becomes PR and publicity.
All right, moving across to some big breaking news that's coming in. Rouse Avenue has reserved its verdict on whether it will take cognizance of money laundering allegations against Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi in the National Herald case. The order will be pronounced now on July 29th. So a very, very slight relief there that has come for Congress leaders Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, and this is in regard with the National Herald case. Remember, the ED had made startling claim as far as the National Herald case is concerned. Money laundering allegations were put upon the Congress party, especially Sonia and Rahul Gandhi were in a huge situation in the dock. But now we learn that the Rouse Avenue Court has reserved its verdict in the case. The pronouncement of the verdict will be done now on July 29. Rhythm is joining me on the phone line on that. Rhythm, is this a slight relief for the Congress party leaders? All right, Rhythm is joining me on the phone line. Rhythm, the pronouncement of the verdict will be now on July 29. Do we call this a relief for the Congress party leaders, Sonia and Rahul Gandhi, or will there be an eager wait on what's going to happen next to them?
This is not a relief for the Congress party leaders. The judge has reserved the order. On the 29th of June, on the 29th of July, we are going to see a verdict on what is going to happen now in the National Herald case, in which the ED has strongly stated that we have to see the role of the Congress party key leaders. Then their role is now going to be decided, and whether they are going to face trial has to now be decided by the Rose Avenue Court bench that heard this case. It has reserved its order on taking cognizance in the National Herald case. The verdict on cognizance will be pronounced on 29th July. This is cognizance of money laundering allegations specifically against Congress leaders Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. Delhi's Rose Avenue Court reserved this order on this cognizance of the prosecution complaint of the Enforcement Directorate. The main people the Enforcement Directorate has been speaking about in these day-to-day hearings that Republic TV has been breaking for the past few weeks has been Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Sam Pitroda and others in the National Herald money laundering case. In fact, several times as this case has been proceeding, S.V. Raju, the Additional Solicitor General representing the Enforcement Directorate, has said his main argument has been that there is more than sufficient ground for the court to take cognizance against all the accused. He's also pointed out that debt was transferred, the right to recovery debt was transferred. He's relied on the Transfer of Property Act. But we're not going to make it technical for our viewers. This is going to be a very important case hearing that we're going to be seeing in whether the National Herald case, whether there is going to be immediate cognizance taken for Sonia and Rahul Gandhi. July 29th is going to be a crucial date.
Absolutely, Rhythm. Thank you very much for sharing those details. It's time for us to now slip into a short break. But after the break are all the details on how Odisha government has formed a 3-member committee after the self-immolation case of a college student. Also coming up after the break, pilots grouping ALPA India must legal course to be part of Air India plane crash probe.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
A storm is brewing at the heart of American law enforcement. FBI Director Kash Patel is reportedly on the verge of resigning, threatening to walk away from his post if his deputy, Dan Bongino, follows through on his own plans to quit. The reason? A fiery clash with Attorney General Pam Bondi over the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case, a controversy that's ignited outrage among MAGA supporters and raised questions about transparency in the Trump administration. The Epstein saga has long haunted political and social circles, with its web of allegations involving powerful figures. President Donald Trump, seen here socializing with Epstein in 1992 at Mar-a-Lago, has faced scrutiny over their past friendship. Trump has since distanced himself, claiming in a recent cabinet meeting,
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिर्फ जल जीरा मसाला।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
महाराष्ट्राची माफी मागतो, मी छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांची माफी मागतो, महाराजांची माफी मागतो, बाळासाहेबांची माफी मागतो, उद्धव साहेबांची माफी मागतो, राज साहेबांची माफी मागतो, गलती हो गया, पुढे तो भाईचा बोला
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
A storm is brewing at the heart of American law enforcement. FBI Director Kash Patel is reportedly on the verge of resigning, threatening to walk away from his post if his deputy, Dan Bongino, follows through on his own plans to quit. The reason? A fiery clash with Attorney General Pam Bondi over the Jeffrey Epstein case, a controversy that's ignited outrage among MAGA supporters and raised questions about transparency in the Trump administration. The Epstein saga has long haunted political and social circles, with its web of allegations involving powerful figures. President Donald Trump, seen here socializing with Epstein in 1992 at Mar-a-Lago, has faced scrutiny over their past friendship. Trump has since distanced himself, claiming in a recent cabinet meeting that he hadn't been close to Epstein for nearly 2 decades before his death.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Live and Breaking at 11 a.m. I am Tanisha Awasthi. The top focus remains on the undocking process that will take place of the Axiom 4 crew. The homecoming is all set to take place. Countdown has already begun. We get you all that and much more on this edition, but first a quick check of the headlines.
आज का भारत स्पेस से महत्वाकांक्षी दिखता है। आज का भारत निडर दिखता है। आज का भारत कॉन्फिडेंट दिखता है। आज का भारत गर्व से पूर्ण दिखता है और इन्हीं सब कारणों की वजह से मैं एक बार फिर से कह सकता हूं कि आज का भारत अभी भी सारे जहां से अच्छा दिखता है।
India is still सारे जहां से अच्छा, says Shubhanshu Shukla in final message from space. Odisha government forms a 3-member committee to investigate the Balasware student self-immolation case. Pilots grouping ALPA India mulls legal course to be part of Air India plane crash probe. The body of a 19-year-old student of Delhi University who was missing for the past 6 days found by the Delhi police. Amid fear power tussle in Karnataka, Union Minister Prahlad Joshi alleges horse trading within Karnataka Congress. External Affairs Minister S. Shankar in China after 5 years for the SCO summit. He calls for continued normalization of ties between India and China when he met with the Chinese Vice President. And we start this edition with some breaking news that's coming in, and this is in regard with the release of Udaipur files. The Supreme Court has agreed to list the plea challenging the Delhi High Court's order challenging staying on the release of Udaipur files. That's a big breaking news that's coming in. The Supreme Court, however, has not dismissed the plea. He has in fact said that they will be listing the plea. Gaurav Bhatia, senior advocate and a BJP spokesperson, made the mentioning where he said that the Supreme Court has agreed to list the plea challenging the Delhi High Court's order staying on the release of Udaipur files. The big breaking news. Rhythm Bhartwaj joining us on the phone line on that. Rhythm, the Supreme Court has finally agreed to list the plea challenging the High Court's order on the staying of Udaipur files. Where do you think it's going to go from?
The Supreme Court had refused an urgent hearing today, but they've agreed to list the plea that's challenging the Delhi High Court order. Senior advocate Gaurav Bhatia appeared for the producers in the Supreme Court. He said he appeared for the producer who had invested his lifetime savings in the movie. He also said he got the censor board certificate. He gave details about what had happened, but he said the Delhi High Court wrongly interfered and stayed the movie. Justice Suryakant, who was leading the bench, also asked about this and said, okay, the movie has been released. He said, okay, we shall list the matter after a day or so. And Gaurav Bhatia also tried to give out more details, but the court said, fine, we will hear you. The movie was to be released on 11th July is what Gaurav Bhatia told the court. We're also trying to get in touch with the senior advocate. It's the first day of Supreme Court's reopening. It's possible he's busy in the corridors of the Supreme Court, but we're trying to get in touch with Gaurav. So Gaurav Bhatia also told the court one day before at 8 p.m. an order is passed staying the release. Justice Khan said the release of the movie is allowed. Bhatia said the movie is allowed by the certificate board, but the theatres have been booked, but it's not there. Justice Kant asked questions on whether it's based on a true story of a person. Bhatia gave out details about what Udaipur Files is about. He said, with responsibility, I must say it's a case of violation of the fundamental rights and the Supreme Court should give a hearing. After hearing everything, the Supreme Court has said, all right, we will be hearing this. They're going to list the matter soon, this week itself, and give a hearing in this case.
Right, Rhythm, thank you for joining us with those details. Now it's time for us to move on, viewers, because it has been more than 15 days. It has been more than 15 days since Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, the first Indian astronaut to visit the International Space Station, left for Earth for a historic space mission. Now, the countdown for his homecoming has begun. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla with his crew members will fly back to Earth tomorrow. The Dragon spacecraft will undock from the International Space Station today, and it will splash down in the Pacific Ocean off California coast tomorrow. Meanwhile, speaking to his countrymen in Hindi during his farewell speech, Shukla said that while his journey in the space is coming to an end, the journey of India's human space mission is still very long and difficult. Listen in.
अब कुछ शब्द मेरे देशवासियों के लिए हिंदी में। कमाल की यात्रा रही है ये मेरी, लेकिन अब जैसे मेरी ये यात्रा ख़त्म होने वाली है, आपकी और मेरी यात्रा अभी बहुत लंबी है। हमारी ह्यूमन स्पेस मिशन की जो यात्रा है वो बहुत लंबी है और बहुत कठिन भी है, लेकिन मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूँ कि अगर हम निश्चय कर लें तो तारा अभी प्राप्यन्ते, इवन स्टार्स आर अटेनेबल। 41 साल पहले कोई भारतीय अंतरिक्ष में गए थे और उन्होंने हमें बताया था कि ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है, और कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है कि हम सब ये जानना चाहते हैं कि आज भारत कैसा दिखता है। मैं आपको बताता हूँ, आज का भारत स्पेस से महत्वाकांक्षी दिखता है। आज का भारत निडर दिखता है। आज का भारत कॉन्फिडेंट दिखता है। आज का भारत गर्व से पूर्ण दिखता है। और इन्हीं सब कारणों की वजह से मैं एक बार फिर से कह सकता हूँ कि आज का भारत अभी भी सारे जहां से अच्छा दिखता है।
Now, to give us more insights about this historic mission of Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, we have Dr. Sheshagiri Rao Velanki, the former ISRO scientist, and also Dr. S. Venkateshwara Sharma, former Deputy Director of ISRO. Firstly, let me come across to you, Dr. Venkateshwar Sharma. How do you look at this mission? 15 days Shubhanshu Shukla had been on the International Space Station. What kind of, an edge will India get as far as its future missions are concerned?
Well, good morning to you and good morning to the viewers. It is more than 2.5 weeks since he is there. It's 18 days not 15, and that is one major thing where we gained another additional 3-4 days for him to stay there and do the experiments. Is first thing. If you see the entire mission, this entire mission has a purpose. ISRO has taken up this activity. ISRO, whatever it does it with a purpose. Therefore, the Gaganyaan is which is scheduled for 26th and 27th launch is something which is on our background for this particular mission of sending an astronaut to space. So since you had asked me a question, I will give a little elaborate answer with respect to what we have gained out of this particular mission of sending Shubhanshu Shukla to space. The first thing is that an experience of an astronaut going to space who has been trained from 2019. He has been selected at Bangalore. He has been trained in the astronaut training center in Bangalore, then in Russia, Cosmos, then in US. It's all in the simulators, but actual condition to simulation, there will be definitely difference. As Shubhanshu Shukla rightly said, his travel, his takeoff from the Falcon 9 rocket and getting into the space, within 15 minutes, he experienced a real jerk, and after his first meal, he had to get into sleep. Therefore, the experience of the astronaut traveling in space is something which we had not the experience. We have got the first-hand experience. After that, the travel itself is another big experience. After that, he has docked into the ISS mission. Please remember, he had been a pilot, so he had also been doing the maneuvering of the activities and the Dragon capsule whenever required. And also he had been continuously interacting and interfacing with various agencies. That's a big experience for us for our Gaganyaan. Once it is docked, the exercise of taking over, handing over, etc., happens in the airlock room, and after that he has done the experiment for last 17 to 18 days. As far as the gain is concerned for ISRO, it is a real experience of a astronaut going into space, having the first-hand information, experience, etc. The first thing, and second thing is the 7 critical experiments which he carried out in space. Typically we can categorize into 3 categories. One is that if an astronaut goes to space, if he has to prepare his food, if he has to sprout and make a salad, how can he do it? His first experiment he has done. And second is that once an astronaut is there, can he grow vegetables there? How the vegetables or the microalgae will be different from what is on Earth, and what type of nutrients it can give, what type of proteins, etc., and how we can do it ourselves so that a self-sustenance in space is possible is the second major takeaway. Third is the physical and biological experiments, like medical experiments such as the muscle loss, and to constrain the muscle loss, what type of proteins, what type of vitamins, what type of exercise, what type of yoga can be done, what type of meditation can be done, is something which is really a great experiment which can be useful for space astronauts as well as people who are on the ground. And the cancer-related experiment which he has carried out is also something which is really, really important for all of us. In all, his entire journey from takeoff.
That's right, Dr. Sharma. The key is sustenance, self-sustenance. That is very, very important. And Shubhanshu Shukla has carried out various experiments to, ensure that there is, some sort of sustainability in future missions as well. Coming to you, Dr. Sheshagiri Rao, the next 24 hours are very, very important. 2 events. One is the undocking and the other is the splashdown, the homecoming of Shubhanshu Shukla. Tell us about the undocking process and also the splashdown.
Yeah, good morning to all of you. The undocking and preparing the Dragon to, let us say, departure from the ISS is an important activity. The first activity is the moment the undocking is done. They do the, let us say, the power, telemetry and commands are, let us say, the connections are dematted, and followed by there are 12 capture hooks, 6 at a time. They are actually they are relieved, and both 2 batches, 6 at a time, they are relieved. And the crew is let us say they are in their suits, and the Dragon hatch is sealed and the ISS hatch is sealed, and then the moment everything is ready